Problems with healthcare.gov continue, but you still want to sign up early, you can do so by hand or in person. And the person responsible is on the run. The victim is this man, 41-year-old Marcus Wright. However, if you don't like the sights of this, you really might not like the looks of this. Nationwide, it may be 1 in 7 are on food stamps, but here in Louisiana, it's about 1 in 4, so the impact will be huge. From large chain grocers to the corner convenience store. When they approached, he pulled out a .22 and shot himself in the head. Students can rest easy knowing that they're going directly towards those who need the help the most. A shocking discovery inside a Shreveport home Christmas morning.
Is where we find NBC6's Alese Underwood live from the Capitol in Baton Rouge. Alese, clearly a lot going on this year. Which topics came up day one?
Yeah, Nick and Jackie, like always, the session opened with comments from the governor. 3 items standing out, one in particular, the legal system in Louisiana.
Alese Underwood joins us now live from the state capitol building with details on that opening session. Alese, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Stephanie. Well, in comparison to last year, which was extremely fiscally focused, this year the governor has named 3 main issues that he's putting on the table.
The result is here in Louisiana, we've now announced over $50 billion in economic development projects, over 80,000 new jobs coming into our state.
Opening comments from the governor praise new economic openings for the state and business growth, along with adding $140 million to the budget for higher education to help add future generations to the workforce. In his speech, he praises efforts by a newcomer to the Shreveport-Bossier area, CSC. So far, more than 1,500 House and Senate bills have been pre-filed with 56 proposed constitutional amendments. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll take a closer look at those. Certainly a lot of issues to tackle this legislative session with that proposed budget of nearly $25 billion. I did sit in on one of the very first meetings of the day. That was the House Appropriations Committee, where they saw the outline of the budget. One major issue hitting home right in Shreveport.
I don't take surprises well, especially when we were talking about our state tax dollars.
It's a general feeling of caution as lawmakers hear details of the budget. Highlights are more funding for higher education and K-12 education, investments in public safety, IT consolidation, and the major issue of investments in health care. Through DHH, this includes $8 million to a $38 million deficit to LSU Hospital, now University Health, along with at least $25 million investments to the new LSU public-private partnerships. Locally, we do have 3 members that serve on that Appropriations Committee. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to take a closer look at what Governor Bobby Jindal says he and the rest of the legislators are doing to crack down on human trafficking. And the reason those numbers were so high is because Louisiana was one of the only states where this crime was actually considered a misdemeanor. Another interesting thing to come to light today was at least 2 members of City Council actually said had they known all of the facts and figures a year ago when they took those initial votes about what this park would cost at the Hamel site, they would never have voted yes.
Alese, amazingly, the way this puppy was found, that's just the beginning of its story.
Yeah, Nick, that's right. The puppy named Braveheart right now is in the Caddo Parish Animal Shelter. But how he got there is a different story. But why he's in there, well, it's even more disturbing.
It's okay.
That might be one of the last things Bo Spatero will get to say to Braveheart. Our NBC6 camera was rolling as the Spatero family was forced to give the recovering puppy to Caddo Parish Animal Control before they begin an investigation.
I'm devastated.
It's completely out of our hands and it's sickening.
It was in early September when the dog was found, barely alive, chained inside a storage unit off Yory Drive. The facility's owners made the disturbing discovery after the renter abandoned the unit. A police report was filed.
We do work complaints like this, assist in the investigation. It is disturbing.
This animal was locked in a storage building and left for dead with no hope.
That's where the Spateros came in, working with LA baby mamas to foster Braveheart. But to find who is responsible and what, if any, charges need filed, Animal Control investigates the incidents.
And we thought that we were going in there to give them everything they needed to be able to prosecute the person that did this. And we did that, but they also chose to seize Braveheart from us as property until the investigation is finished.
Rhonda works at a local animal hospital. Braveheart was going with her every day for care.
However, we still haven't been able to do his vaccinations, but there's been a ton of veterinary work done on this animal to get it back into the shape. Brave was not a stray anymore. I mean, he had a home. We were fostering him until he got better, and then we would have found him a wonderful home.
But for now, Braveheart will be kept in isolation at Caddo Parish Animal Shelter. Now, we did reach out to Caddo Parish Animal Shelter. Our calls have not been returned yet. Of course, we will continue to follow this story. It's something that's booming over social media, so log on to our website, arklatex.homepage.com, and our Facebook page to join in the conversation. What they do affects day-to-day living, and when it comes to who's missing out, well, it's something everyone will notice.
And the mosquitoes is getting bad. I cannot open my back or either my front door at night.
Ingleside neighbor Lors Jimerson constantly sees this, water seeping out from cracks in her street.
You think it's rainwater coming, but that's not it. The water sits, and then when that started gushing, it's just come on down.
And it's been there for months. While problems like this exist all over the city, repairs are expensive, and that's where your water bill comes in. However, if you don't like the sights of this, you really might not like the looks of this come next month.
There's absolutely no easy way for an elected official or for the citizens.
13% increase in water and a 55% increase in sewer. For a residential home using less than 3,000 gallons, you probably pay $8 to $11 a month. Expect to pay now at least $36. If you use more than 6,000 gallons, be ready to see a jump roughly from $50 to $60.
They just paid the service fees and the meter fee. Now, if you use less than 3,000 gallons, you will be charged for the water that you use.
It's all to avoid federal fines, but also to have money to set aside to fix issues, like under the street.
Mainly water and sewer mains, which for the last 3 or 4 years, we've budgeted no money for that, had no money to put that way.
I have talked to everybody, and everybody is passing the buck to somebody else.
The buck isn't there yet, but come next month and until 2022, it'll come out of your pocket. Yeah, Nick, come this Saturday, starting right here all along this parade route, it will be filled with people ready to enjoy themselves. But when it comes to spending some money, of course you can count on those crowds, but you also have to look to the crews themselves, who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars each year to ensure that many times perfect strangers have a good time.
We work hard so that the community can play hard. We have a wonderful time on parade day. We want the community to come out and have a wonderful time too.
And the wonderful time doesn't come cheap, but it's all going back to the local economy in dollar signs and the experience. The Arklatex has 15 crews with nearly 1,500 members.
You can spend anywhere from $300 to $1,000 or more on throws.
And that's a one-time expense on parade day alone per family. Not to mention everything that goes in preparation. Building materials, gasoline, food, drinks, costumes, limousines, hotels. It adds up and bought local. But crew members aren't the only ones spending.
Estimates range from between $17 million and $32 million of economic impact for the two major parades. That's Crew of Centaur and Crew of Gemini weekends.
And that study was done 6 years ago. It's grown considerably, both in attendance and help for local business.
Look at Lila's Bakery at the Boardwalk. They sold 9,000 king cakes last year at about $20 a pop. $200,000 for a mom and pop business means an awful lot to the bottom line.
So whether you're the one throwing the beads or catching the fun,
we're so excited. It's work, 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 and then Saturday, everybody just has a good time.
Now painting a little bit more of a financial picture for the Crew of Centaur members last night, within 3 hours, those members bought $19,000 worth of beads and other items to throw coming up at this parade on Saturday.